but you're getting a look right now at our players. Dragon and Violet. Violet is very confident about this.
Oh, and he should be. He has been ridiculous lately. You know, again, one of those players that not necessarily people were expecting to do great things, and all of a sudden, every tournament here, every tournament there, he's like top 3, top 4, bringing lots of money home, traveling to tournaments absolutely everywhere. And, you know, let's go ahead and introduce the players here. In the top right-hand location, we have the Zerg player in the red from College Station, actually from Korea, currently residing in College Station. Actually, I hesitate to say residing because he's traveling every single weekend. I don't know where he's living right now. So that's a first world problem, and you probably have that first world problem, too, of traveling to all these events and not actually having a home. I'm sorry. You can call.
The worst part about traveling to events is you don't have as much time to play.
Yes, that'd be terrible. But anyway, let me finish these introductions. In the top right location, the Red Zerg player. Violet from Team Empire, of course, recent acquisition. That's a great pickup from Empire, by the way. Bottom left-hand location of Antigua Shipyards. It is the blue Terran player, Dragon. He also recently joined a team, which is Millennium. A great pickup for them as well. So, you know, TVZ, Antigua Shipyard, forced cross positions. Should be good. I'm excited to get into it, man.
Yes, sir. Force cross spawn, no gold bases, so
Yes.
this is a map that is kind of hard on ladder against Terran, especially when you can end up spawning close. But with the force cross spawn and with the absence of the gold, it becomes a little bit better for the Zerg player. The real key to playing Antigua well is controlling the center.
I agree.
If Terran is sieged up in the middle, life gets really hard.
Yes.
If Zerg has Broodlords floating over the center, life gets really hard for the Terran player. And then, of course, securing a fourth base is also a real headache on Antigua.
Yeah, that's like, I think that's like the key. That's the key point of this map. A 3 base is relatively easy to get. The 3rd base is right next to your natural expansion. But then the 4th base, that's when it gets tricky. Do you take that expansion near the middle of the map? Do you continue over to the right-hand side, or the left-hand side, I should say, take down the rocks and take that as your 4th? Most Zerg players I've seen, I'll guide you through it on the screen here. Violet probably going to take this 3rd, and then probably going to take these rocks down here and take this base on the right-hand side. But you know, a lot of players have game plans going into these games, and a Terran game plan that I've heard is, okay, I'm going to play this game, and my one goal: don't let my Zerg opponent take his 4th, and that's doable on this map.
Yeah, it is very doable on this map, especially with the effective drop play we see. Manages to get in there.
Yeah.
Dragon was trying to put the SCV right next to where the extractor would go up so that it could not be taken right away. We've got basically a Hellion opening right now for Dragon.
Yep. Looks like it. Probably going to add a reactor right now. There it is. And the factory should be floated up onto there. 2 Marines out on the field. Violet going to be as annoying as possible. Actually, the drone actually got killed.
Yeah,
so,
it was so low on health, it just died when it popped up.
It's no fun at all. So Dragon going to take that drone out. You know, can feel comfortable to do whatever he wants. But yeah, I do expect him to drop the factory onto the reactor in the field for the
Violet plays this map the same every time. He just loves Roach Baneling busting on Antigua. I don't really know why it is. Maybe he just doesn't like playing the later mid.
Yeah, that's the thing about this map, man. The later games, not as many Zergs are as confident. However, Sleep, who's also in this tournament, his favorite map, I've been told, is Antigua Shipyard. And as a Zerg player, that's kind of weird to me.
It's Stefano's favorite map.
Yeah, that's true. And honestly, the Zergling, Baneling, Ultralist style kind of lends itself well to this map. There's a lot of counterattack options.
Yep.
A very big map. You know, you could take advantage of your fast Zerglings, your fast Banelings.
That's right.
And Infestors, of course, can be good. There's a decent amount of places where you can try to trap your opponent, get some fungal growth off. Also, really fun, if the Terran opponent ever goes in the middle, just wrap around the entire middle with Zerglings and Banelings, and then just swallow up the Terran army, if that's possible. But it's doable with the Ling Baneling aggression. But as of right now, it looks like Violet definitely going for that early Roach play, still mining that gas, so definitely investing a lot into this. I feel like he has to do a lot of damage, or he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. 5 Roaches in production, no drones in that production tab. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Metabolic boost, speed upgrade being upgraded as well. I'm wondering if that's a little bit late, because
this is like a very incredibly aggressive Roach play.
Oh yeah.
Typically you see the metagame right now with this Roach play is 35 drones, Roaches, and Banelings. Right now, Violet is working on 19 drones.
Wow.
And his Roaches are already out, so he's playing so low eco. Can barely saturate just the one base.
Yeah.
And I kind of like this for Dragon. He's got his tech lab up. He's trying to get a Marauder out, but he's supply blocked, which is a huge mistake, by the way.
That's big.
And
Command Center's about to finish, though.
Yeah,
there we go.
Command Center's done. And once the Marauder pops out, you know, Command Center lifts, Roaches can't break the ramp, and Dragon's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and at the same time, 4 Hellions coming over to Violet, and all of his units are at his opponent's side of the map, so he can't do anything to defend against this. We'll have to watch. He's trying to go up into the main base. The Queen is down the ramp, though, trying to deny entrance. The Queen coming in from the main base at the same time on the other side of the map. Roach is trying to break into the main base of Dragon, targeting that supply depot, but there is a Marauder here. Marauders are good, man, so we'll have to see if Dragon can hold this off. It looks like he will be able to. Command Center eerily waiting overhead, and the Hellions trying to take down this hatchery, but that's probably not going to work.
That's a tough job for a Hellion. Roaches do bust up into the main base, and they have killed a Marauder. 3 Roaches alive. They're going to get a couple of SCV kills. But with double orbital, I don't think it's going to phase Dragon too much. Second Marauder about 75% complete. He will be popping out shortly. Hellions being microed very well in the main base. Hellions in the natural of Violet have been cleaned up. And now with this new Marauder coming out, man, that was a lot of SCV kills.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was a ton of SCV kills. 10 SCV kills. Perhaps missed micro there by Dragon. And look at the supplies right now, 27 to 48.
The Harvesters too.
Yeah, Violet's attack, which quite frankly I thought would be easily thwarted, was not. There was no bunker.
I know.
And the wall came down. There was no repair, so Violet was able to bust in there. Now he's way ahead.
Yeah. I'm really surprised the repair wasn't better for Dragon there. You repair that supply depot, let your Marauders do work on those Roaches, and you could be fine, but Dragon not handling that as optimally as he could have, and it is now left at a severe supply disadvantage with Violet up 49 to 33. That being said, Dragon does have 2 orbital commands, able to drop those mules 2 at a time. Of course, every time he gets 50 energy. At the same time, Violet on the other side, putting down 2 Spine Crawlers, still has some Roaches on the ground, going to try to deny these Hellions entrance, and the Hellions are going to back away. So Violet definitely looking good. Definitely that forward aggression paid off for him. And very interesting to note about that attack. That's it's very important. Violet pulled his drones into his main when the Hellions got there. He had nothing back to defend, really. And then he blocked the ramp with 2 Queens. The Hellions weren't able to do as much damage as they would have. You could say, okay, if those Hellions were back, could they have helped with the Roaches? Perhaps. But again, the key point is Violet saved a lot of his economy by completely dodging any damage from those Hellions from Dragon.
Yeah, he did it was an excellent job of just positioning himself and minimizing the damage that he did take. 3rd Command Center finishing up right now for Dragon. Now, if Violet had taken a 3rd base on the back of that, I would say that he's way ahead.
Yes.
With just 2 bases, I'm just going to say that he's kind of ahead. It's 53 drones to 28 SCVs. That's excellent, and he's outmining his opponent substantially right now. But when that 3rd orbital finishes up, Dragon's going to be quite okay in I guess comparison economically.
Right. Spire is on the way for Violet. I'm looking for the engineering bay from Dragon. Okay, he does have 2 on the field, so he should be prepared for those mutas. That being said, though, anything can happen. He does have 2 Marauders on the field, which is, what, 4 less Marines or whatever, however you want to, accrue that in your mind. But yeah, 3 orbitals for Dragon. Needs to make sure to deny any Mutalisk aggression. But yeah, it looks like Violet going for this Ling, Baneling, Mutalisk composition rather than that Infestor play.
Yeah, playing a kind of old school style. When the mutas pop out, he'll have a lot of map control. And if Dragon underprepares, if he doesn't have any turrets up, he could certainly take some damage. I will say the one time I played against Dragon on ladder, he skipped turrets. So if this is a habit that he has...
Wait, you played Dragon on ladder?
Only once.
Okay. Did you win?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I did not. It was not even close. But in that game, he didn't really prepare for mutas, and he took some damage from him, and he hasn't really prepared here. So
yeah,
this is a little bit scary for him.
Has he scanned at all? Yes, he did scan the lair.
Yeah, but didn't see the Spire.
No turrets. Okay, turrets just now going down. So nice timing from Dragon. Right when the mutas are popping out, the turrets are being plopped down in the main base of Dragon there. Natural expansion is not as necessary to have turrets there because of the limited airspace. Not too much flyby ability from those mutas. So as long as you have turrets in your main base, turrets at your 3rd, it's really hard for those mutas to get to that natural expansion. So you don't have to worry as much about defending that.
Yes, sir. Great creep spread out from Violet. He's taken a great deal of map control. I would expect to see him take a 4th base as these mutas make their first pokes into their opponent's side of the map. 10 drones on the way right now for Violet. His economy is going to be excellent. First turret will scare these mutas back, at least temporarily.
Yeah, and now these mutas are they're just going to try to find sweet spots. What can I kill without taking any damage? And for now, Oh, looks like that armory, I think that was an armory, was canceled. Now targeting down these engineering bays. I think an upgrade just finished.
Yeah.
I think it was that +1 infantry weapons, +1 armors on the way as well. Violet should perhaps try to target down that second engineering bay. Will that get finished? Marines coming back as well. No repair going down from any SCVs, which is a tad bit surprising. But the Marines coming forward should be enough to defend that. And Stim just now being started from Dragon.
Yeah, very late Stim.
Feels very late to me.
Maybe a mistake even. Normally you see that start as soon as that first tech lab is up. Ooh, Viking is out, and a couple of SCVs getting picked off building turrets here in the third base.
Yeah.
But these mutas are kind of backing themselves into a corner.
They are. And they're going. It's hard to fly away again when you commit yourself to. Oh, you're going to try to target down some tanks here. But Dragon, pretty nice micro from these Marines, going to take out plenty of those mutas. So Violet doing a decent amount of damage. But I feel like Dragon doesn't really have much pressure capabilities because Stim isn't done.
Yeah, he can't really push without Stim. He'll just
can't really
get
drop
by
either. I mean, you're not going to drop unstimmed Marines.
Yeah.
That doesn't make much sense. But who knows? They are Terran units, so anything can happen. But Violet flying around with the mutas, looking out for any potential drops. I guess he doesn't know the status of his opponent's Stim, so he has to be aware of any potential aggression. Violet coming forward to the middle of the map here with a lot of Banelings and Zerglings.
Now I've seen Violet just make 8 mutas and then go all in Zergling Baneling. He could potentially do something like this. We can see that he is continuing to add to this muta count though. 22 Lings on the way. Hatchery's going up everywhere for Violet. He's taking a 4th base, building another macro hatch in his natural. Our Zerg player, he's going to max out pretty soon here, Axel.
Yeah, and, a lot of people will say that's the timing for him to hit. We'll have to see if he ends up doing that. Targeting down some turrets in the natural third base of Dragon right now. Killing one turret, trying to take out some supply depots. That won't do much. The supply for Dragon is decent right now, just finishing another supply depot, unless he dropped a supply on a supply depot, or did that supply drop thing. Yeah. But in any case, yeah, Violet.
Look at that big Baneling morph in the center of the map. I think he's either going to go for a big bust, or just the second he sees Dragon move, he's going to just attack with everything. Dragon, I would suspect, is probably planning to just sit back and turtle till max before he goes anywhere.
Yeah, and you can do that on this map. It's hard to find a perfect place to engage for the Zerg player. I mean, you have to engage through these 2 chokes outside of your opponent's natural expansion, and when there's a bunch of siege tanks, that's no fun. But Violet getting ready here, going through with all of these Banelings and these Zerglings and these mutas.
And he is just going to go for it. Baneling's going to come crashing in. Dragon, pay attention, losing all of his Marines instantly.
Wow.
And that's what you call GG, Axel. There's really nothing that remains here for Dragon. 160 supply for Violet as he comes crashing into the natural. Marines being microed backwards, but these are... Oh my gosh. Third base getting absolutely decimated. Yep. Lings up in the main, Lings in the natural. Everything is going to die here. And Violet looking damn good in game number 1 on Antigua Shipyard.
That was a great attack. And there's the GG from Dragon. So Violet will take game number 1 of this best of 3 in the Lone Star Clash. And wow, that was well played by Violet.
That was exceptionally well played by Violet. He just macroed up. He got some map control. He did enough damage. Well, he did substantial damage with that early attack, and he never really let go of that lead. Playing the kind of 2 base into extra expansions after the mutas come out. That's kind of an older school style.
Yeah, and it's weird to call it that, but you're absolutely right. You're seeing a lot of Zerg players, especially Violet. I feel like his style is more the Ling, Baneling, Infestor, Ultra kind of thing, like Stefano. But yeah, going for the early Roach. The early Roach aggression, that was definitely that was one of the important points of this game. If you're asking, okay, why did Violet win this game? What was the turning point? Why did Dragon? Why was he so far behind? That was the one thing. The Roach is able to get into Dragon's base, do a lot of damage to the SCVs. You could be like, okay, why didn't he repair? That's one of those questions. If he had repaired that depot, would he be a little bit better in a little bit better shape?
Yeah, I
sure,
think so.
You could say
he
that.
ended up losing 10, 11 SCVs.
Yeah,
if he loses 3 repairing SCVs,
and
doesn't let the Roaches into his base, that's a much different outcome.
Exactly.
Than what we saw there.
And Violet doing a good job macroing behind that and dodging the Hellions. Again, if you think about the Hellions, there were 4 Hellions in the natural expansion of Violet. I know you can relate to how hard that is to defend because you're a Zerg player.
We said it before we went to break. Polt beat Heavens with 4 Hellions.
Exactly.
And Heavens is he's a high Grandmaster Zerg player.
Yes.
So I mean,
he's very good.
that's if a player of that caliber can lose to just Hellions, then anybody can.
Yeah, and the thing was, Violet was messing with the Roaches at the front of his opponent's base at the same time, and had to deal with the Hellions back home. He didn't have any defenses. He just had 2 queens, but he was able to do that very nice and effectively. And then, of course, that final battle there. Dragon had 3 tanks that weren't sieged. I don't know. Did I see that correctly?
Yeah, you did see that correctly. He was just rallying those tanks out, and he wasn't sieging them up. And Violet punished him really hard for it. So that was great play by Violet, and he's just continuing with this trend of really, really high level play. You know, I gotta say, Violet is one of the favorites to go very far in this tournament.
Yes.
If anybody can beat Polt, I think it might be him.
Yeah, and of course, the winner of this series will play the winner of the Muslim versus Destiny, if I'm recalling correctly.
Ooh, I actually don't have a bracket in front of me, but you might be right.
I'm pretty sure that is the case. You can trust me on that one.
There's definitely one up on the preview stream.
There it is.
But I can't read it from here.
We
did just get an update from...
did In Control beat Sleep?
Yes, he did, 2-0.
Whoa!
So the Korean player, 6-Jack Sleep, getting smacked by In Control. So awesome stuff here. I've been hanging out with Jeff for the past couple of days. He's been working so hard. He is so serious about taking his gameplay to the next level. And he's already shown a good result there. So
you know, I hate to seem shocked or anything, but a lot of people come to this tournament and are like, all right, Sleep's got that. Sleep's got that. But In Control,
2-0,
showing he's in control and taking out Sleep there, I'm going to go shake his hand after I finish casting.
Be careful, he might crush your little nerd hands.
Take that back. Take it back.